Hey there guys, and welcome back. Well, it's that time of year again, or at least that time of year is approaching. And what time of year would that be? That's right, the jolly guy is coming to visit us. And I don't mean me. Either way, on this week's show, I'm going to show you guys a quick little way to spruce up some of the gifts that you're giving people. This is a great little project, really easy to do, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So the project for this week is these little guys right here, and that would be wooden Christmas tags. The thing with the Christmas tags is once it's all said and done and the wrapping is over and whatnot, they can be hung from the tree as an attractive ornament. And it's so easy to personalize and so easy to do. And step one is you want to hit the computer and get on the internet. So what I've done is I Googled images of Christmas tag outlines. And there was all kinds of them on there. Different shapes, rectangular, square, stars, you name it. I mean, I just picked a simple one because you don't want to spend hours cutting these things. It's a good way to use up your scrap, and it's a good, quick, fun project while you're waiting for glue to dry on other things that you're working on. But either way, I Googled up these images and then saved the ones I liked onto my desktop. So after I had finished with that, now what you need is your actual image for the tags. And same thing, all I did was Google Christmas silhouettes and picked a couple that I liked just for the purpose of this video and saved them. Now there's several ways that you can go here with this project. One way to go is that you can take the image of the tag and the image that you've chosen for the tag and make templates, kind of like this right here, for you to trace onto your scrap stock. That's one way to go about it. Another way to go about it is, of course, if you don't want to save all these templates, it's a lot easier just to save a computer file. So I ended up using Pages, which is the word processing program that I use, and I just ended up layering these pictures to make, in essence, a pattern for these Christmas tags. So kind of like this right here. And bottom line is, we're going to use these, whether you use your template method or whether you use the pattern method, the process is the same. So the first thing we're going to do is pick out our stock. You want to go like, an 1/8 of an inch thick, whatever stock you have. I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch, and we're going to go from there. Alright, so what we've got is a 1/8 inch thick piece of maple. It's just a scrap piece, and it's going to work perfect for this project. You really want to use a hardwood for these tags because of their thickness. Once you start scrolling it and whatnot, it does become very fragile, and the last thing you'd want is for this thing to get broken on someone's present. So maple, oak, walnut, that sort of thing is perfect for this project. So we've got our wood. Next thing you want to do is you want to take your pattern pieces that you printed up, in this case, unless you're using the templates, and you want to just cut them out. Now really, truth be told, I probably could have ganged these a little better on the program that I used so that I wouldn't have to cut them. I could have just glued the sheet down, but hindsight's 20/20, and I'll probably modify these patterns at a later time on my computer so that I won't have to do all this cutting and separating sort of thing. Either way, so you're going to cut them out, and then the next step is you want to get yourself a can of spray adhesive. So what I'm using is just an Elmer's all-purpose spray adhesive, and you can use whatever type you want. The spray adhesive brand doesn't make a difference to the project. But you can see here I've got, I feel like a teacher at the board. you can see here that I've got my two patterns. I'm just going to do two. Up here onto a vertical board. A little piece of advice for you. Spray adhesive doesn't like to be sprayed like this or like this. It likes to be like this. So you'll get a lot more use out of your can of spray adhesive if you spray it vertically as opposed to spraying it on an angle, because you lose your compression. So if you can, spray it vertical. I've got it up on a cork board here. So you want to give it a shake. I was shaking it off camera, the glue that is, shaking it off camera before, so it doesn't need a big shake. But anyway, you want to give a generous coating of glue to both of these pieces. So just side to side, give it a general coating. You really want to soak it up and get it nice and wet. So once you get all the glue sprayed on there, you want to start timing for 3 minutes. And that 3-minute timer is what's going to give it time for the glue to tack up. So I'll see you in 3 minutes. Alright, so here we are 3 minutes later. The glue is tacked up nicely on these pieces. You want to lay them down on your piece of wood, just like such. And you may remember this little scraper that we made in a previous show. You just want to give it a little rub down to make sure that it's completely glued down to that piece of board. Just going to get the second one over here. And we'll just check to see if it fits on this side. And it does. So we'll just, again, lay it in place and use our scraper to just get any air bubbles out of it. Make sure that it's got a good seal to the board. Now, with that being done, we are going to head over to the drill press. Alright, so here we are at the drill press, and really these are very simple patterns to cut, but what you need to do is drill a blade entry hole into these dark waste areas in the middle. So it doesn't have to be a huge hole. In this case, I'm going to go 1/16 of an inch, and it could be anywhere you want. I mean, as you get into more intricate cuttings, it's going to make a difference, but for this particular project, I mean, anywhere at all is fine. As well, while you're here at the drill press, you just may want to drill these holes to secure your tags to your presents or to have them on the tree. Alright, so we've got ourselves a number 2 blade in here, reverse tooth, and you want to start off. You can see that I've trimmed this, our blank, down to a more comfortable and usable size for the scroll saw. So you want to start off by doing your interior cuts for your waste areas. So we're going to start off with that, and we're going to cut both of these out. So bear with me while I crank the speed of this video up and cut these pieces out. Okay, now that we've got our silhouettes cut out, now it's as simple as cutting out the outlines of our tags. So again, through the modern miracle of fast forward, we'll cut these tags out. Well, now what we've got is 2 tags, but one of them has that sticky paper attached to it on one side. I'm going to show you guys the easiest method I've ever found to remove these patterns, and it's all about the heat gun. So all I do is take the heat gun and move it on the pattern. I use it on high heat, but you want to be very careful here because it will score and burn your wood. You just want to give them a little heating, and then you can see how easy that peels off. It's that simple. This one here, we've got it heated and it peels off just that easy. Just like that. The only thing now with gluing the pattern onto here is you can see there's sticky residue. So what we need for this is some mineral spirits, and we're going to give this a little wash to get rid of the residue of the glue. So this part isn't rocket science, guys. A little bit of mineral spirits on some paper towel, and on the glue side, or the where you just remove the pattern where it's sticky, just wipe off the glue residue. That's it. So do it on both of them, and you should be fine. So now that they're all cut and they're, you get the pattern removed and the glue residue washed off, now take a 1/4 sheet sander and sand them up to probably about a 220 grit. That's about all you're going to need on these projects. So sand them up with your 1/4 sheet. Don't use an oscillating sander, guys. The action of the oscillation will break your project. And there you have it. Guys, a couple keynotes on making these Christmas tags. Number one, if you're going to go the template method, which I didn't show in this video other than that little bit at the beginning, I would suggest doing it on plexiglass. That way, before you draw out your outline and lay it onto your wood, it's very easy to see through the plexiglass to see how your layout is going. Even something as simple as grain patterns can make a difference to a design, and looking through the plexiglass, it makes it very easy to lay it out. Another thing I would point out with the plexiglass template method, all that stuff with the heat gun and the gluey residue and the mineral spirits is gone. You don't need to do that. So template method does have its advantages, but then you have to store the template. As well, guys, when using mineral spirits to remove the glue residue off of these, do yourself a favor, do not sand them right away. Wait several hours and let all of the mineral spirits evaporate out of your wood. If it doesn't, the mineral spirits that have soaked into the grain of the wood will mix with the sawdust from the 1/4 sheet sanding, and it will make one heck of a mess in the fine cutout areas, and you'll have to pick that out. It's a real mess. Do yourself a favor, let it fully dry. One other thing as well is how to cut these. One of my other videos from earlier on in the early days of the show was, of course, stack cutting. There is absolutely nothing wrong with stacking these 4 high to give yourself a 1/2 inch thick piece and cutting 4 at a time. In fact, it's awesome. If you have quite a few that you want to make, by all means, stack cut them. Check out the video if you're not sure how to do that. As well, don't limit yourself to Christmas designs. I mean, I picked a Santa head and a reindeer because that just sort of shot out, and it is almost that season. So think about it now. If you've got a woodworker on your list, why not have a Christmas tag with maybe a hand plane or a hammer or a saw blade or something like that? If you have someone who loves fishing, why not a silhouette of a fish? Or a boat. If you like someone likes cars, it could be a car. The internet is out there. Utilize it and Google these silhouettes, and you can get yourself some really nice tags / Christmas ornaments that people will love. It's a great way to use up your scraps instead of just pitching them. Another thing you guys may want to have a look into as well is a little bit of personalization, of course. Burn their names in it. Why not? You know, it's going to be obvious who it's from if you're known as a woodworker. So why not put, you know, Karen's name in it, or Joe's name, or Peter's name, or whoever, you know. So personalize them with some wood burning, and seal them up with a little bit of spray varnish or whatever you have, and done deal. Guys, great project. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're going to try these, and I'll see you again next week with another woodworking video.